You may be thinking about taking a trip to Disney, and of course they are famous for their iconic rides. A lot of the Disney parks around the world have identical rides, but they all have unique twists. So today I'm going to let you know which rides at Disneyland Paris are better than the versions at Disney World. My name is Sophie from Most Magical Guides, and I make videos all about planning your ultimate trips to Disney World and Disneyland Paris. If you do like that type of content, and of course trip vlogs to the Disney parks around the world, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. First up, we're going to talk about Hyperspace Mountain versus Space Mountain. Now, Space Mountain in Disney World is iconic. The building it is in is amazing, and it's a go-to ride for most people going to Disney World. The good news is, if you like the Disney World version, you are going to love the Disneyland Paris version. Some of the reasons that Hyperspace Mountain is better than Space Mountain are because you get the iconic launch at the beginning. This upward launch really does feel like you're going off in a rocket. This ride is also super fast, and it does go upside down, so it's much more thrilling. If you're a Star Wars fan as well, you're going to love the Star Wars theming inside. Do be sure to check this iconic roller coaster out. Whilst we're on the topic of roller coasters, another ride that pips the post at Disneyland Paris is Big Thunder Mountain. This is my favourite Disney roller coaster. I think it is so fun and I love the theming, but the one at Disneyland Paris, it just has the edge for me. Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland Paris has a long track. It also has a really nice track layout. It feels like a great ride. There's no moments where there's a lull or there's a dip or you're kind of thinking this doesn't quite feel like it goes. What I'm saying is, Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland Paris, every single moment feels like perfection. Something else that's so unique about Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland Paris is it's on its own island. Once you enter the ride and you start your journey, you actually go underneath the river to get onto the island when the main part of the roller coaster is on, and that is so unique and really cool. And it also means at Disneyland Paris you could get some fantastic photos because it stands alone. Whilst we're on the topic of thrills, another iconic ride at Disney is the Tower of Terror, and the one at Disneyland Paris is next level. What makes this one super unique to me is it is a much longer ride, and it has a variety of drop sequences that are very different to Disney World, and it's just that much more intense. Now, it is worth noting at Disney World you do have the section where your cart goes forward, which you don't have at Disneyland Paris, but I do think overall I much prefer the ride in Disneyland Paris. It's just that much more thrilling and scarier because it goes on for longer. One of my all-time favourite Disney rides is Pirates of the Caribbean. This is such a must-do ride. It's one of the OG rides at Disney, and the version at Disneyland Paris is not to be missed. What makes the version at Disneyland Paris better for me is the fact that you have 2 drops, and it is slightly more thrilling a ride. You also have the advantage that at the beginning you sail past Captain Jack's restaurant, and if you're at Disneyland Paris and you love this ride, it's definitely worth getting a reservation in this restaurant because you actually get to be inside the ride. You can never really go wrong with Pirates, but I just very much enjoy those drops. They add that little bit of thrill onto this ride, so for me, the one at Disneyland Paris pips the post over Disney World. If you're a Toy Story fan, you are definitely going to want to go on Buzz Lightyear Laser Blast. This is such a fun and interactive ride, and you really can't go wrong. I am terrible at it though. I never get a very good score. The one at Disneyland Paris just feels so much more vibrant. The colours inside the ride itself are much crisper and very bright, and I just really enjoy the version at Disneyland Paris a lot more. The one at Disney World can feel a little bit dated. It feels like it needs a refresh, but you don't find this at Disneyland Paris. Next up is a controversial ride, and it's because of the song. Of course, It's a Small World is up next. Disneyland Paris have recently spent the past few years renovating this ride, and it is stunning. The colours are vibrant, the dolls look fresh, the final room where you have all of the white and the glitter is beautiful. And because of this, I really do think that this version is the best version. It is just so cute, and it is very beautiful in Disneyland Paris. Something else I really like is that the Disneyland Railroad goes through It's a Small World. Now, if you are on the train, you won't actually see inside the ride, although you do with other rides. But what is really cool is if you are waiting, you will actually see the train go past, everyone waves at you, and it is such a cute moment. And the final ride I'm going to mention that is better at Disneyland Paris than Disney World is the Teacups. Now again, this is a kind of controversial ride because not everyone likes getting busy getting dizzy, But if you do, then definitely go to the one in Disneyland Paris because it is stunning. The version at Disneyland Paris is just so much prettier and therefore it is a great photo spot. Here you could get great photos with the lanterns up above you, and it is even more beautiful at night time. The one at Disney World is super fun to go on, but the setting isn't super great and it's not very photogenic. So if you're wanting some super cute photos, then head over to the teacups in Disneyland Paris. You don't even need to ride it, you can just go on the outside and get those great photos. The great news is if you don't want to ride it, you don't have to. You can still get those great photos from the outside. So do make sure you do that if you visit Disneyland Paris. So those are the 7 rides that are better at Disneyland Paris than Disney World. Something I really like is the fact that you do get these iconic rides in a lot of different Disney parks in the world. So it's definitely worth visiting different parks if you can, so you get the different experiences. Disneyland Paris is a super beautiful park, and although it's much smaller than Disney World, it does have some of the best versions of rides in any Disney park in the world, so it's definitely worth a visit. If you're thinking of going to Disneyland Paris, let me know in the comments down below what you're most excited to ride. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you stick around to the end because I will have a playlist to help you plan your Disneyland Paris trip like a pro. But until next time, I hope you have the most magical day. Bye bye.